I think Battlefield is missing out on a massive opportunity to make the Battlefield community more engaged in the next Battlefield's development than ever before, even though they announced Battlefield Labs. What do I mean by this? Well, to understand that, we have to take a few steps back. If you've been following me for a long time, or really any Battlefield channel covering Battlefield 6, you would have been noticing that we're covering a lot of leaks. That is basically our job, to deliver you guys the news that you guys subscribe to us for to hear. So it's not surprising that people like Ghost Gaming and Cadwoman and myself are all talking about the same leaks. But has anyone ever wondered why EA is allowing us to cover these leaks? And I don't mean allowing us to cover them like we're talking to EA and asking them if it's okay. I mean EA is taking no action against creators actually covering these leaks. And if you are familiar with EA, this is actually extremely abnormal. I remember when the first very few Battlefield 6 leaks were coming out, and I was messaging my YouTuber friends, and I'm going like, can we even talk about this? Like, is EA gonna shut my entire channel down if I even as so much as whisper about this in a voiceover? Fast forward till today, you can't open Twitter or Reddit or any social media without seeing full gameplays that are leaked from Battlefield Labs. And yeah, a few of them might be taken down from the social media websites, but in terms of them actually taking any action against anybody, I don't know if I've ever heard of that yet. I know nothing has happened to me or any other channels. So the question is, why do they still have the NDA with Battlefield Labs? It clearly isn't doing anything. Nobody cares about it. I mean, you just invite a bunch of random bozos to Battlefield Labs. They record a 4K 60 FPS 235,000 bitrate footage of your game and then post it on Reddit, and it looks phenomenal. Like, you're not doing anything to combat it. So I think what they should really do is take advantage that everyone is really invested in this next Battlefield game already. People are super interested because of what they have seen so far. And I think this presents a unique opportunity to have EA and DICE engage with the Battlefield community more than ever before. Now, the game plan for this is pretty simple in my opinion. So, it's May. I think, personally, from my experience covering Battlefield, we should as a community expect to see a reveal trailer sometime within the next 2 months. And I think after they reveal the next Battlefield title, they should keep Battlefield Labs invite only, but lift the NDA and continue to slowly invite more people in order to take place in the playtests. I made the point earlier that no one cares about the NDA anyway, and people are going to leak every single thing about the next Battlefield game and data mine it to hell, so why not involve the community and actually keep everyone involved in what you're doing actively in Battlefield Labs? One of the biggest complaints from people in Battlefield 2042, and just about DICE and EA in general, is that the communication from them has always been lackluster when it comes to Battlefield. Sometimes we go months without hearing a peep about anything at all. So why shouldn't they take this opportunity right now to start off on the right foot before the next game is even out and show the community that, hey, you know, we're here to communicate, we're here to keep you guys up to date with things, and we're here to actually make a great Battlefield title. Another thing this would do is it would help restore, partially at least, the feeling of community within the Battlefield ecosystem, if you will. A lot of people have complained that over the past few titles, that sense of community has been really diminished because the lack of community tools, such as community-run servers with a bunch of clans, right? Then the clans themselves. When is the last time we had the platoon system in Battlefield? That's a huge part of Battlefield. It makes people, again, form little micro-communities within the game, and it helps keep the game alive. To this day, people still make new platoons in Battlefield 4 to try to, like, ego each other with different clan tags. I'm actually serious, that's what people do. But that's just a small portion of the community, obviously. Largely, the platoon system was helpful for making little micro-communities that only play on certain servers. A good example of that was AOD. They had a large presence in Battlefield 1 as well as Battlefield 5 servers, and maybe even Battlefield 3 and 4 if I remember correctly. And AOD is only one example of a platoon that I can remember. I'm sure there were hundreds of platoons that were active in older Battlefield titles. Do I think we're going to get any of these community tools back in the next Battlefield game? Probably not. So they should try to include everyone they can to rekindle that sense of community, sense of involvement that was there before in this next Battlefield title. Now, is there any chance of this actually happening? Absolutely 0%. Just none. I think EA is going to stick to their guns no matter what, which is unfortunate, even though their entire game is leaking on the internet every single time Battlefield Labs holds a playtest. I would wager to say that this is the most information we have on a Battlefield game before we even know the title. We don't know what the next Battlefield game is called. Think about that for a second, and we've seen 20 minutes of gameplay, probably hours of gameplay at this point, separated between different clips. It's kind of crazy. Now, one potential downside that I will acknowledge for doing this sort of system where they release a trailer, then they lift the Battlefield Labs NDA but keep it an invite only, is the amount of involvement and the openness that Battlefield might have if they did this would potentially lead to people actually not being as excited for the launch of the next Battlefield title. And that's because, well, they're seeing everything, right? There is no mystery. There's nothing left to the imagination with the release of the next Battlefield game, which I think is actually very important for driving interest and sales and all that sort of stuff. But on the flip side, if people like what they see, it could actually increase interest in sales, which we all know EA is very, very fond of. And please, let me know your thoughts on this idea in the comment section down below. I'm well aware that this is just absolutely never going to happen, but I can't help but just make this video because I've had this thought in the back of my mind for a while, ever since the leaks about the next Battlefield game started getting really, really detailed and very, very frequent. I just can't help but think that the NDA is kind of just a wall made out of air. And maybe EA and DICE's efforts are better spent on trying to capitalize on the interest these leaks have generated. Because from what I've seen, people really, really like what they're seeing out of Battlefield Labs and these leaks so far. So that's going to wrap it up for this video, ladies and gentlemen. If you enjoyed the content, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Thank you guys so much for taking time out of your day to watch the video and watch any content you do of mine. Really do appreciate that. Your time is never taken for granted. If you have never watched a stream of mine, I stream every single day at twitch.tv/enders. I stream on YouTube and Twitch at the same time, so you don't have to go to one platform or another. And if you'd like to follow me on Twitter, Instagram, or join the Discord, all those links are in the description. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video.
Will it learn?